device in a tree at the corner of Water Street and Montgomery Street. The person alerted a member of the Syracuse Fire Department, who in turn called SPD, and at the time, out of an abundance of caution, we cordoned off the area and ultimately, made an evacuation of several buildings, including City Hall, right there at the corner of Water Street and Montgomery Street. At that time, we set up a command post here, and ultimately we took a look at this through an investigation. So after we centered off the area, we had conducted an investigation. The investigation included conducting a canvass of the area, reviewing video surveillance, and ultimately using our hazardous devices unit to investigate with a camera the package that was there. At the same time, we made contact with several of our local partners, and later it was determined that the device was a listening device used to monitor ambient noise from I-81, and it was placed there last Thursday by the New York State Department of Transportation. So at this time, as the mayor had said, everything is all clear. There's no risk to the public, and ultimately these buildings that were affected have been opened back up, including City Hall, which, as the mayor said, is open to city staff and will resume normal business tomorrow. I'd like to thank all of our partners, SPD, the people that came here, and the police officers that took the opportunity to investigate this very quickly. SFD was here, AMR, and a lot of our local contacts as well too. So, Mayor.
Yeah, the only thing I want to add is Deputy Chief Russin mentioned New York State DOT. We've been in regular communication with them. To be clear, the device was affixed to the tree by a contractor, and so we're currently looking into the details of how that came to be. We have been in touch with New York State DOT in recent weeks and months about the use of these sound monitoring devices in different parts of the city. As to how one of those ended up in a tree, again, is the subject of further investigation. Questions?
Is that not normal for it to be in that place?
Well, so again, I'm certainly not an expert here. What I'm aware of is that the majority of the discussions have been around affixing these devices to utility poles. So a tree was a surprise to me, but we want to make sure that we look into the communications to determine if or when the city was notified, and again, we're still looking into that.
Sure. And before they put one up, they usually conversate with you guys and tell you, like, this is where we
Yeah. So again, there has been communication for over quite a bit of time between New York State DOT and city officials as to where and when these devices would be placed. But again, this one did catch us by surprise, so we just need to determine, was it because the location was changed, who was advised and when, and again, we're still looking into that. Again, the good news is somebody saw something, they said something, and there is no threat. But it is important to understand those details to make sure we don't end up in this situation again.
Has it been taken down, or is it still up?
The device is still up. We're told that these particular devices were only going to be up for about a week or so, as we understand it now. And again, we're still investigating, so some of these details are subject to change. We believe that it was placed in the tree around Thursday of last week, and we are told it will be coming down soon. But again, given the fact that it's no threat and that it's an important part of the 81 project, we are no longer concerned about its existence. But again, we want to make sure we're clear on the process and whether or not it should have been in that tree to begin with.
What was the process of determining that it was something from the DOT?
Well, we all looked at it. We had some pictures. We had the SPD's drone getting close-up images of it, and as we all looked at it, we quickly realized, and I'm looking beyond the cameras now at some Pelican boxes that are used by media, that it was a familiar type box. We identified what appeared to be a microphone affixed to it, and so that the assumption among all of us at the command post was that it was likely some sort of sound monitoring device. Then we simply began to identify all possibilities. We reached out to city, county, state departments. We reached out to some of the local research institutions, and ultimately narrowed it down to New York State DOT.
Were businesses and apartment buildings besides city employees evacuated?
Yeah, Deputy Chief, do you want to talk about the evacuation process?
Yeah, so as soon as we'll find this, we'll generalize an area and determine what buildings are in that area. So City Hall was affected right away, but so were some of the buildings right there on Montgomery Street as well. So, you know, the size is determined by our experts, our subject matter experts from the Hazardous Devices Unit, but they'll give the recommendation, this is what we think we have to evacuate. And so some city buildings, obviously City Hall, but then also the local businesses were evacuated as well.
And how useful was SPD's drone in helping to determine that this package was not a threat?
Anytime that you can put remote eyes on something like this is going to be beneficial. So whether it's the drone, or at one point we had one of our robots out there that has some more stable magnification that can be utilized. Anytime that you can put something there that is not a human body is going to be helpful. So you just can't underestimate how much technology will help try to determine things of package size, how it's affixed to the tree, and you know, simple things like that. It just gives you more intelligence. You make better decisions with that.
Any other questions?
How long were City Hall officers out of office for?
A little louder.
How long were the City Hall officers out of office for?
I'll have to confirm the timing of it. 11:55 a.m. is when we evacuated the building. And again, at this point, because of the amount of time that city staff have been out, we determined to keep City Hall closed for business for the rest of the day. Staff has been given the green light to come back in, complete their work if able, but at a minimum collect their belongings and go home for the day, and we'll be back open for business tomorrow. Okay, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.